Removing a spouse is indeed similar to removing a tattoo. Expensive, painful and leaves scars. Except that my tattoo doesn't fuck my coworkers. Edit. Thanks guys, I never got this amount of updates and awards in one place. Lol, I'ma go celebrate. My friend is doing this because he wants kids, is 31, and doesn't want to start a new relationship. And the girl he's with doesn't even want kids for a few years into marriage and possibly not at all. His reasoning is, this is how life goes, it's just the next step. I haven't spoken to him in like a year, but that marriage will either be very unhappy or will end in divorce. I don't understand why people want to waste their lives like that. It's more like people fall in love, lust that slowly fades, and by the time you realize it there are a lot of extra variables that keep some people together when they don't want to be. Like kids. My therapist was surprised to hear that me and my sister weren't accidents. My mother had been married to an unsupportive, antisocial dick for 10 years *, when mom figured, maybe throwing kids into the picture will fix this. That's why you don't marry until you're really sure she is supportive in any way. Stop thinking you can fix a partner. They're humans, not a project. And if you think you need someone to fix, start with yourself. Winking face. After 8 years of dating, I told my now wife that I needed poop bag levels of commitment. Such as, if one of us ends up with a poop bag, the other person is able and willing to change it. We got married and never looked back. I met a coworker once, old guy in his late 60s. Second day working together he was telling me how happy he was, because that weekend he has to look after his daughter's home. She was on vacation or something, I don't remember, and he would be away from his annoying bitch of a wife. It was his third wife. The man married and divorced 2 other ladies, and even on the third one he would speak shit about her and complain constantly. And he always complained about the bitches that his ex-wives were. I couldn't understand what kind of woman would marry such an asshole. But what I truly couldn't comprehend is why the fuck would he keep on marrying when he clearly didn't like to be married. He admitted to me that he went to strippers constantly. Even invited me once but I declined. And at work he would check on every female's ass, coworkers and residents alike. Some people just can't fathom to be single but are clearly not made to be with someone either. Because if he were alone, who is going to make his food and do his laundry? Both can be removed with lasers. Or a machete. Idiot here. Got a tattoo I thought would be cool over a decade ago and couldn't afford to remove it until last year. People change and realize maybe they don't like it anymore. Surprisingly, I'm still thriving in life otherwise, so I guess I'm not that stupid. I've been really impressed with how good of cover-ups people can get. Really glad tattooing has become widespread and attracts many talented artists to the trade. Imagine you weren't allowed to own property and the only way to not starve was to get a tattoo before your father died. Or imagine that getting a tattoo, even a really hideous one, came with a lot of money or possessions or farm animals. Like, you can be a lot richer overnight by getting a tattoo. Imagine that if your son and your best friend's daughter get the same tattoo, then your 2 families get to combine your wealth and become more important. Do they get along? Who cares? Marriage has been, for most of human history, an economic institution. Whether you liked the person or not was largely irrelevant. People change. Tattoos don't. They kinda do. Changing body size, age, fading, etc. can all change a tattoo. A wise man once said, "Don't be an idiot." So every time I think about getting a new tattoo, I think, would an idiot do that? Hi Dwight. Generations of modeled behavior and systems without applying awareness, critical thought, or compassion lead to this. I don't know if anybody needs to read this, but the single best advice I can give you when choosing a partner is pick someone who makes you want to be better. Be attracted to growth in that person and yourself, and relationships get deeper and more robust. My wife is the dopest person I know. She makes me want to be better and to do better, and she feels the same way. A decade of marriage later, she is still the one that inspires me and challenges me in positive and productive ways. The second best advice is that you don't need to be in a relationship if you don't want to, and don't get pressured into getting married. It's more like the tattoo you were in love with at 19 is cringe now that you're 30 and reassessing your earlier choices. Well, at least you can only be married to one wrong person at a time. Lots of people have multiple awful tattoos. Relevant song. Another tattoo. https://youtube.be/bf6ct9zeke5s . Weird Al Yankovic. Divorce is not the reverse of a marriage. Is something else completely. Jesse. What the fuck are you talking about? People underplay just how important it is when making these kinds of permanent decisions. It's always, if it makes you feel good, do it. Not, well, does it make sense financially? Does it keep in theme with the person you're trying to become? Do you even know the kind of person you're trying to become? Etc. Set yourself up for success by at least contemplating some of this stuff before getting a tattoo or getting married. The people who give zero thought into it are the ones who always regret it in the end. There are no financial benefits or social pressure to getting a tattoo. The power of lust, especially when there was, apparently, no sex before marriage. Nobody needed a tattoo to survive. Lots of people actually needed a spouse, even a shitty one. It's incredible how many people responded to this medium-level comment without reading the higher ones. In the English-speaking world, a woman couldn't open a bank account until the 70s. In almost all the world, being unmarried after a certain age sends a message that you're broken in some way and should be avoided. If your social circle doesn't think this way, then globally, you're deeply in the minority. What we think of as boomer humor about hating your spouse is just village humor and a bad old habit of human nature that societies tend to weaponize as they grow larger. For example, people still think this way in my Catholic hometown. And if the vast majority of people around you believe something, so do you in almost every case. In fact, Reddit communities are a constant example of this. You won't see two contradictory but valid opinions upvoted on any topic. It's like that with marriage in societies. My abusive, vindictive, hateful wife of 49 years died in 2020. I miss her cooking, and yeah, I still miss the sweet, loving friend I married. https://imager.com/hxd1ku.jpg. Tattoos change very little. People can change a lot. Still considered normal for some people. My husband and I went mattress shopping and the saleswoman was surprised by how we acted with each other. All we were doing was treating each other with love and respect. You know, like how people do. It really made me feel weird that just having a calm discussion was considered amazing, in terms of how married people act. At least to this lady. I don't think that's considered normal. Greater than asterisk asterisk used to be asterisk asterisk considered normal. Is it? Do normal people actually complain about their partners? Used to be, op is talking about an attitude that was normal 40 plus years ago. Ironically, when tattoos were much more taboo.